I'm really nervous to make this video because I actually want to make a YouTube channel and, develop an online presence that is, meaningful and has an involved community. Like, I actually want this to be something. And, excuse me, the thought of posting a video, especially my first video when I don't already have a dedicated community of people who watches my content and who's involved with me because I don't have content yet. The idea of the first part of myself that I put out there being this raw, like completely raw, completely real, completely authentic version of me is scary. And I think a lot of that is because I inherently feel, and I feel like most of us probably inherently feel, that who I am raw and authentically and, literally like I woke up like this is not good enough. I think we feel like as we are, unaltered, with no filters and no setup, no facade, we are so convinced that that state of being is not okay and that it's not going to be loved or accepted as much as some other, more put together, more aesthetically pleasing, more, perfect version of ourselves that we can become and that we can transform into. And, I have to just say really quickly, like, I don't have a script for this, obviously. I'm stream of consciousness just talking right now. So if it seems scattered, that's why, I'm not sure what's going to come up, but I'm trying not to filter it. I just want to let it come out. And now I forgot what I was saying before. But I think what I was getting at was that, the little imperfections, the things that make us different, those are really what keeps us interesting. And if we're so focused on, being perfect or fitting some kind of cookie cutter mold or becoming anything other than what we actually are, we're taking away the parts of ourselves that make us interesting and worth listening to. And, that's not to say that putting on makeup or planning out a video or, having a different type of presence, that's not to say that that is necessarily inauthentic, because I definitely don't think that. I think that we all have different levels and different, ways that we exist. But I feel like this particular state of existence, which is, the completely raw, what you see is literally what you get way of being, I feel like that is devalued. When we look at all the different ways of being that people expose, I feel like content like this that's just completely unplanned, that's totally, raw stream of consciousness, there's no filter, there's no motive, there's no agenda, and, there's no certain message that you're trying to get across, I feel like that is taken as, less special or less important. And I know that I have definitely internalized this in so many ways. And I really feel connected to the mission of abolishing that constraint, because that's really what it is. It's a constraint. It's a limitation. And I feel really connected to that sense of purpose. And I really want to produce authentic content. And that has been my intention since even, deciding that I wanted to create a YouTube channel. And I'm talking years and years, over 10 years of thought about putting myself out on YouTube. And I've been paralyzed at the thought of, not being what I need to be liked and accepted on a platform like YouTube or just in life in general. And that's paralyzed me, which is why I haven't posted a video until now. But I can't imagine, now that I'm actively thinking about it and talking about it and doing this, I can't imagine a better way to introduce myself to the world of YouTube and to the world of sharing my life with people, because if I want to produce authentic content and if I want to produce content about living authentically, I need to embody that. I need to be authentic. I need to be genuine, and I need to be okay with that. And that means also being okay with the fear. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I'm not afraid. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that, after I'm done filming this, I'm going to I'm not going to debate about whether or not to post it, or that I'm not going to go through and feel critical about certain aspects of the video or about myself. But being okay with feeling critical, I think, is important. Like taking the judgment out of our emotional experience. And this is something that I literally didn't understand until like the last couple of weeks, which is that, you don't have to have an emotion with the judgment. You can just have the emotion, and then like that's what it is. You don't have to be excited about a negative emotion, but you don't have to hate yourself about it either. It can just be. So I feel like I know I'm starting to get tangential, but again, this is me having a conversation. I'm talking to you, and this is how an authentic conversation with me would go, except hopefully the other person would be contributing a little bit more than my phone camera is. But I don't know. So honestly, the intention that I had when I made this video, or started making this video, was to talk about my first experience with morning pages, because I just did morning pages for the very first time. And I wasn't planning on this video being like a reaction. And in a way it is, this is my reaction to morning pages. And I think that's really telling. I was able to get in this state of mind through this journaling experience that I just had, where I'm literally doing something that I never thought I would do. I'm filming a video with the intention to post it, with no judgment about myself or my experience right now. And I would not have done that an hour ago before I had done my morning pages. And I'm like really awestruck by how transformative that was for me. I had hangups, I had obstacles. I have a genetic disease that causes me chronic pain. My arm was hurting that whole time, which is a reason that I have waited to do morning pages until now. I've been afraid of the pain. But I genuinely feel like I just got so much out of that experience. And I think the rule for morning pages is you're supposed to write 3 pages. I allowed myself to break that rule because I'm trying to work on the constraints of perfection and lifting those off of myself. And I ended up writing 7 pages. I wrote for almost an hour. And as someone who, dreads the physical act of writing, even though I love the mental act, because of the pain it causes me, that just on a physical plane is astonishing in and of itself. But also the fact that I was able to get in tune with my own self and channel that through writing for that long, and not feel the anxiety of a page limit that I needed to meet, or a time limit, or anything. That was just like so liberating and freeing, and I feel really good, and I am so excited to keep doing this. And I don't know, I know I didn't talk too much about the actual process or what morning pages is, which is how most reviews typically go. There's an informative piece at the very beginning usually. And I didn't do that, but this is really my genuine reaction. This is my reaction to morning pages. This is the state of being that I am in after completing the morning pages exercise. And, there are already so many amazing videos on YouTube for what morning pages are and how to do them. I know Lavender has an excellent one, and there are so many other YouTubers that have talked about this. And I think it's from the book, The Artist's Way. I think the author's name is Julia Campbell. I've not read the book, I'm not an expert on this. There's so many other sources for people to get information on how to do this. And, those sources are out there, so I don't feel like I need to be that. But if you're wondering what an authentic, reaction and way of thinking and being is right after you do your morning pages, if you're wondering what you might experience after doing morning pages, this is mine. Your experience could be similar, it could be completely different, but this is my perspective, And if this encourages someone to give it a try, and if even one person gives it a try and gets something positive out of it, I feel like I've done an awesome thing by putting myself out there in this way, because I really just I want other people to feel this too. So I hope you got something out of this. Thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you soon.